Reveal.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sam, and today I have the honor of playing Edge of the Empire here with these gentlemen. I'll introduce them in a minute, but Dell is graciously hosting this video on Roleplay Cafe. We're going to be playing Edge of the Empire, which is one of my favorite games, and I haven't gotten to run it in, gosh, a couple of years now. We also have my son playing, so this will be his first time playing Edge of the Empire, and I think you guys are really gonna like it. So for right now, we're just gonna go straight up, just theater of the mind, rolling physical dice and all that. But eventually, we may kick it over to the digital tabletop foundry.
Physical dice are the best.
Yeah, physical dice are the best. So, Dell, Eloy, Michael, thank you guys for being here. And of course, my name is Sam. And let's do it. It's like, so imagine, dun, 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 right? The Star Wars crawl, comes up. And you see like not a capital ship going over, but like what do you call that? Like a freighter kind of pulling into docking speed above this bright moon, like neon lights everywhere as it kind of comes down, through the atmosphere. This is a city moon, a metropolis, a megalopolis, so to speak, of Nar Shaddaa, the smuggler's moon, deep in the heart of Hutt space. It is, if Mos Eisley was the wretched hub of scum and villainy, or hive of scum and villainy, this is the city of scum and villainy, where anything goes. And we are, as it kind of comes down a little bit, and it sort of banks into like a docking bay. It flies over this, it's kind of like a market square, where we will see 3 people running full out from people chasing them, firing blaster bolts at them. Pew, pew, pew. And that's where we will start our scene. But before we do that, I want you guys each to roll the force dice for me. This is going to set our destiny pool.
Oh, I dropped them.
Oh, not a good start. Uh-oh.
2 black.
2, so 3 dark side points.
Is that bad?
That is bad. Yes.
It just means
What's that, Del?
I got 2 light side.
2 lights?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so 3
Down
darks
to the
and 2
rescue.
lights.
Somewhat.
All right.
Oh,
First time ever.
Yep.
I got
So
you don't hear that much.
Dark.
Yep. So that's good. So right now our dice pool is a total of 5 destiny points, right? 2 dark or 3 dark right now and 2 light side points. And so just as a quick reminder, you guys can use the light side points to either upgrade your checks if you need to add kind of like a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing, a little flavor or good thing that happens to you into the scene. And of course, I can use the dark side of the Force to complicate things for you. So, why are you guys running from these people? Well, here's what happened. Your employer, Gort the Hutt, is kind of a mid-level crime boss mostly on Nar Shaddaa, and is really looking to rise up in the ranks of the Hutt criminal syndicate rankings, right? Because being like kind of a mid-level guy, it's okay, but it's not that fun. And you are one of the many unfortunate crews to have become entangled with Gort, who is, I imagine, very cunning, but also very nasty and short-tempered, and doesn't like failure, we'll say. And so you guys have been brought together because of your different skill sets, and you had been asked to basically smuggle or steal some sensitive data pucks that another smuggler, Cortavas, had that were that contained some kind of you don't know if it was trade secrets for industrial espionage or if maybe it is information on a fellow hut or crime lord in the system, but you know that these data pucks are valuable, and you were successful in stealing those. However, Corta found out. And so right now, her team, her thugs, her nemesis, her minions, right? They're chasing you. And they are trying to they would prefer to kill you. You know that for sure, right? But they want to.
What exactly the clean getaway we anticipated her?
No, exactly. And so you find yourself in one of the busiest market districts of Nar Shaddaa. It's called the Ulwan Bachiska, right, as it would be said in Huttese. And it is nestled deep in the planet's decaying urban sprawl, bustling marketplace where fortunes are made, lives are destroyed, and the eternal words "buyer beware" or "bidwani wabdana" in Huttese have never been more accurate. So, as you kind of are running, right, into this square, you realize like what you guys are ultimately trying to do is get back to the docking bay where your ship is, because you need to. Because right now, Gort is not on the moon. He's off in one of his barges, space barges somewhere, and so he will give you coordinates. Because he knows if you steal this data, it's probably not a great idea to stay local. But you've made it into this marketplace, and unfortunately, Corta's smugglers have caught up to you, and so you guys are you're kind of just breaking into the middle of this market square, and they're just coming out of an alley behind you, and so. As you're in this position, you hear one of them yell, "Stop, thief!" And you know that although criminal activity is the name of the game here, you can't let any crime go just because. And so there's like port and market security, mostly droids and others. And so you start to see people looking around. But you know that in Nar Shaddaa, if there's trouble, most likely blasters will come out and people will start shooting and they don't necessarily care who they hit. So with that in mind, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you want to do in this situation?
Well, in general, Griff is probably really enjoying this scenario. I mean, sprinting down alleyways, being chased by basically the cops is probably like his idea of a perfect vacation.
It's not even the cops though. It's other criminals. It's it's people
better.
who they won't arrest you. They'll kill you.
It's Cordoba's people, so it's more gangsters.
Exactly.
So, Griff, how do you want to
Jumping
play
around.
this?
Well, what's around me at the moment?
A
So
throng of people probably in the market.
yeah,
Market
there's
stalls
throngs
and
of
stuff?
people. Yep, market stalls, everything from spice, blasters, mechanical parts, right? Any food of all kinds, like just anything you can imagine, you can get here, both
Dude.
illegal and legal.
Do I
And it's
see,
very
like,
busy.
Ball bearings?
Well, right now you
Counters?
can't make out any particular
I want to throw ball
goods.
bearings behind me so bad.
Well, you could, if you wanted to, you could
D&D 5e.
attempt to try to do that. However, you know that these thugs see you and they are making their way towards you. You
I thought
guys
we were
have
actually
the
running, okay.
stolen. Yeah, you were, but now you get into this market and it's you can't really run anymore because it's too crowded. You would literally bowl into people. So you kind of have to decide if you're gonna
Probably
want to
so.
like run, hide, negotiate, what, you know.
Okay.
Well, I probably would still be running, if possible.
Okay. Like still trying to weave your way through the crowd as much as you could,
Mm-hmm.
in the general destination of like of where your ship would be, or the landing bay and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to try to overturn some of these stalls uh,
Yep.
and create a little wake behind us of debris that they're going to have to
Okay.
navigate over. Okay, because I'm following the other
flip
two.
them
But I got my
over.
pistol, my blaster out of my hip, and I'll take a couple of pot shots as I'm overturning these stalls.
Okay.
What?
All right. Well, we're gonna what we're gonna do then, I guess, is we're gonna have our first roll of the game, which is cool. So what I'll have you do, Del, is roll. Are you shooting with a pistol?
Yeah, I'm more or less getting the people like
Yeah.
stampeding behind us. So I'm
Oh,
kinda
so you don't
shooting-
even necessarily you're like shoot up in the air or whatever just to get people to. Okay.
yeah, mill
Gotcha.
around and
No
create
worries.
yeah.
Okay.
Distraction.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I will still have you roll a ranged light
That's fine.
roll, but I'll just do it against one purple. And the idea here isn't necessarily to injure anyone, but to
Anyone
see
run.
what happens with the advantages and disadvantages.
Okay. I got
Like,
+2 on the range light. So
Okay.
yeah, you have
For
to
successes or
well, I mean, as far as the rating, the two.
2 green.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you would roll 2 green, 1 purple. And then in this case, I'm not going to add any boosts or otherwise because I don't think you need to since this is a fairly simple roll. But yeah, normally I would do either setback dice or boost dice. What was so 2 green, 1 purple.
Yep.
Straight up. Yeah.
Okay, I got two explosions on the green and one of the what is this one?
Triangle or the TIE fighter cockpit?
Yes,
Yeah,
TIE fighter
those are the
cockpit.
bad ones. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
TIE fighter cockpit. Okay, so the little sunbursts are successes, and so it sounds like you have 2 successes and 1 threat.
One threat. Yes.
Yeah. So what I will say then is that you have the desired effect in a way, right? You fire your blaster pew, pew, right up into the air, and people definitely scatter, kind of jump out of the way. And maybe you also flip over or knock into a stall, kind of knock some stuff out of the way.
Yeah, produce
but I
and
think
everything rolls out. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Contraband.
You know, like a little Kowakian monkey lizard, you know, and runs off. But
Yeah.
you've also angered the Trandoshan merchant that was right there, whose stall you kicked over. So he's kind of like yelling at you and making like, "Arr," you know. So mechanically, that will probably add a setback to the next
My
dice
sound
roll.
just died.
Oh,
He's having to re-log in.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, no
sorry.
worries.
My-
that's okay.
My audio crapped out, so I had to.
Oh no.
There we go.
Did you hear?
I heard the Kowakian lizard monkey.
That was
that's
it.
as far
Okay,
as
so Dell's dice roll resulted in the crowd scattering with 2 successes, right? But then the threat that he generated, the Trandoshan merchant whose stall or whatever he just like kicked
Oh,
over
yeah.
or whatever is angry
Right
with
behind
him,
him.
and so he's kind of posturing and yelling and whatever.
He's one of the pursuers now, but
Possibly.
God. We're going to
Yeah.
create a trail.
but I did
of
create a little
humanity.
bit of a
I'm gonna try and run in front and say, I know a shortcut. We can lose them in the alleys. we need to get off this market. So I'm hoping to leverage my knowledge of the place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as bodyguard, I meant to that to draw more attention to me too, where they could kind of slip through the crowd and get where they need to. So I'm trying to
Sure.
get that focus on
All
me.
right. So let's have Dax make either. Have Dax make a streetwise check for me.
Sure thing. What's the difficulty on that?
It's going to be difficulty 2, I think. Now, I think we are going to add a setback dice as well, because just the pure distraction and chaos of all of this, just trying to keep that headspace is a little difficult.
Okay, so it's a setback for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what? I think I'm going to use a dark side point. So let's take one of those purples and make one red.
Dude.
Oh no!
But now you guys have 3 light sides, so
I guess turnabout is fair play. So I'm gonna flip.
Yep.
A light side to sort of even the odds and see what we can do.
And are you going to increase one of your? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Get right back to you. Kick it.
Yeah,
right back.
that's what you want to do. You want to use them fairly liberally so that it's.
Wait, so is it back to three dark, 2 light?
No. What happened was it's back to 2 lights and 3 darks. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Well,
hold on. Let's see what Eloy's result is first.
I get 3 successes and 2
threats.
Threat.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You've been all over kind of the middle upper levels of Nar Shaddaa, and so you definitely remember, like, okay, you might not know exactly like all the street names and whatever, but you definitely know, okay, if we go this way, there's like the alleys in this area are like a warren, and so we'll definitely be able to hide if we can get over there. Now, what I think is happening is as you're kind of like, guys, follow me, right? And you know the way you're going, you start heading in that direction. But behind you, the smugglers are shooting, right? And the crowd has dispersed to the point they're hiding, right? They're running. So there's kind of a clear line of sight now to you. So that's how I'm going to use those 2 disadvantages, is that they have an easier time seeing you. Now, that said, you'll be able to go into the alley, no problem.
But they know where you're going,
They'll know at least initially where you're going. So if you guys intend to run, then we will effectively have ourselves a nice little chase scene here. Now, are you planning all running into the lobby or into the alley where Dax is kind of pointing you guys?
I mean, I plan on running, but I also plan on like trying to maybe look behind me or like put at least aim my gun behind me to shoot randomly.
Sure. Okay.
It's like, we'll see.
Pew pew. Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm behind you, so watch my head.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
As you're doing that, I'm going down on one knee, though. I'm going to try to get them in that bottleneck, you know what I mean, as they enter the alley, basically. Keep them at bay a little bit. But I wanted to see if they, like, as I go in, I'm wanting to drag something, a cart or something with me to kind of barricade up a little bit and pull it up, and I'll lean down as he's popping over my head.
Okay. So you guys like run into the alley. Now, I know as Barada, as you kind of pull up a little bit short, right, with the intention of creating a bit of a barricade, and so you guys make it into the alley. It is dark, right? It's harder to see, and you know that ahead of you it's just going to be this maze. But you can see that at this point the smugglers saw you enter the alley, so they're coming straight at you. And you know they're closing the distance fast, so you guys do have you can do, like, basically you have one more round until you anticipate them at least entering the alley. So what do you guys want to do in that regard?
Um, now I'm on the comm link telling them to run. I'll hold them off, and still trying to.
Hero.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are
I'm
close enough too that you don't even need to use comlinks if you don't want to.
I'm throwing over my shoulder then,
yeah.
like run, because I see him popping off above me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
okay.
Run, Griff.
It's like, but I want to shoot some things. Come on, we can totally take him. This is a good idea.
And so I'll tell you at this point, there are 4 of them, and there are 3 of you. Now, it's so. Does Griff not run? Does Griff turn around and get ready for a fight, or are you intending to keep running?
Stand far enough back that I could not get like punched, but within enough range that I could reliably hit a shot if needed.
Okay. All right. So you are preparing. So what we'll do then is we'll say that Griff is using a maneuver to aim, which means that if you do end up firing, you'll get an additional boost dice to your attack roll.
So speaking of attack, I don't have like a dice pool next to my weapons.
So you have do you have ranks in ranged light?
I
believe it says So those right there.
Yellow.
Yeah, so that's what you would roll is those 2 is 1 yellow plus 2 green, and then I'll tell you the negative dice to add.
Okay.
So don't worry, I'll tell you the dice pool when it comes time. Okay, so let's have Barada make a.
I didn't write this down, but barrage. What is that again? Does anybody know? As far
Did you say brawn or barrage?
Barrage.
That could be a special weapon quality.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I would have to look it up. It's probably
the PDF before we started. So
yeah, it's probably in the weapon qualities section. We can look it up later if necessary, but it probably activates on like a 2 advantages or something.
Yeah.
It's a talent, apparently.
Oh, is it a talent?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a talent. I get it listed.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Add 1 damage per rank of barrage to 1 hit of successful range heavy or gunnery attack.
Okay, that's not
at
that's
long
not
or extreme range.
I've only got light range right now. So
yeah, it's literally like barraging them with fire. All right, cool.
Exactly.
Okay. Go ahead and I don't know, make a Del, make an athletics roll for me to kind of like be picking up these things and just that's fine. And it's just a 1 difficulty, so 1 purple. I think that's it. We're just gonna go with that.
1 purple.
Okay. 1 purple, yep.
I got 2 of the little triangle dillies.
Okay. So and straight up that's it?
Yep.
Okay. So those are failures, and so what that will mean is that this alley, you find that there's nothing really substantial in this alley that you could quickly move to kind of create like a barrier or a distraction. There are lots of like little crates. It's almost as if like maybe this was an alley behind like restaurants, so they might have like literally like trash bags and maybe like a little crate of some kind of food. So you can create a little bit of debris, but it's not going to be very much at all.
If they're conscientious, they may stop to pick it up or something, but
Yeah,
maybe, but I have a feeling these smugglers aren't that conscientious about litter.
No, dude, I'm the one making the litter.
And Dax, how about you? Seeing that you guys, your people aren't running.
His ground.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm ready to shoot them.
So I'm like going ahead, right? And then suddenly I look back and I realize they're not following, and so I stand at the corner, And I yell at them, "What the hell are you doing?" And I pull my blaster out, and I'm gonna shoot as well to come on, to see if I can provide some cover to them.
Okay.
He singes my hair.
And well, yeah, he hasn't shot yet necessarily, but remember, only Imperial stormtroopers are so precise. So, you know. Now, what we'll do in this case is I'm going to have you guys roll cool for initiative, because you guys know that combat is coming, right?
Yeah.
Where vigilance would be more on the, if you don't know.
Do we have to have any disadvantage, or the purple or the black zones?
No, you just straight up roll, your regular
One
dice.
success and one blank.
Blank. Okay, yep. So blank doesn't count for anything.
Okay, so I've got nothing on it, just one purple.
Nope.
No, not a purple at all. You literally, so for your for cool, if you have like,
I have 0.
Let's say, I don't know. You have
It's
0?
presence. It's your presence, but it's your presence stat.
Gotcha.
So whatever your presence stat, you roll that number of green dice.
Yep.
And
So
there's no negative dice. So
right, yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. So 0 just means you don't have a rank in it, but yeah, it's based on presence.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Eloy.
Okay, I got one.
Yep.
Explosion.
One success.
I got one success only.
That's what I got.
yeah, so you got Del, you got 1 success and 1 advantage,
There you go.
and I got 2 successes and 3 advantage.
Daggum, man, I'm jealous.
I got a single success.
All right, so
I got the worst roll here.
okay, so good guys go first. Now, the way that it works in this system is, when it comes to initiative, there isn't a particular person who goes first. It's just either your side or their side. So you guys can decide. One of you guys gets to act first. So what's going to happen is, you see these guys run up to the alley. Now, the alley is small enough that it probably can only fit about 2 abreast, which means that 2 of them can come in and then 2 behind as well.
Yeah.
So they kind of pull up to the alley, but then, they're smart, right? They don't just come running in. They kind of are holding their blasters out, trying to look for you. But you definitely have the first actions. So yeah, so who wants to go first and who wants to do what?
I can wait, so you guys can take
Yeah.
I would like to go first, if possible.
Okay, and so you want to shoot at them?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to shoot at them.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say then is, so roll your ranged light, right, which I believe was your 1 yellow, 2 green. They are within a medium distance, so it's 2 purple. Now I'm going to use a dark side point to increase one of those purples to a red.
Well, I'm gonna use a light side point then.
Okay,
so yellow.
A yellow. Okay, so turn one of your purples into a red. Yep, and you turned one of your greens into a yellow. Okay, and then you also have 1 black setback die because you have your companions kind of in front of you because you went a little bit further back into the alley. So you just want to make sure you don't shoot them.
But wait, he was aiming from before, so
he was. So actually, Michael, add a blue dice as well. Thank you.
I thought it was 2 blue dice.
Yeah.
And if you spend another maneuver aiming, then it's 2
That's
blue
true.
dice.
Yeah, you could spend another maneuver to add 1 more blue dice if you want. So you could have a total of 2. All right, so total of 2 blue dice then. Yep, so give those a roll.
2 advantage, 3 advantage, 2 success, 2 failures. So
yeah, so the 2 failures cancel out the 2 successes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yep, and then you have the green and the purple cancel.
3 advantage.
3 advantages. Okay, so you take a shot, pew, 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 right? but you are not able to actually hit them, right? They seem to duck out of the way. Maybe one of them like actually half trips over one of the trash bags that Del threw out there, and it actually managed to keep them from getting hit. Now, with 3 advantages, you have a couple of things that you can do. So, for example, you can grant a boost dice to your ally's next check. Right now, there are no the characters don't have defensive bonuses or anything like that. So
You could use 2 of
yeah.
them. I yell at Griff. Griff, take cover.
Yep.
And if you use 2 of those, that gives you an extra maneuver, which you can use to get behind cover, and that makes things harder for them to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something you could do.
Yep.
So 2 advantage to use an extra maneuver.
Correct.
Yeah, which would
be to give an opponent or an ally a boost.
1. So you could do both. You
so
could
I want to take cover and then.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just the next ally.
Your names.
That goes to the next person who goes.
Yeah, right? It's not a specific bonus per se.
Then I guess I just want to holler like.
Yeah.
He's down there. He fell down.
Yep.
Like you gotta aim down now.
Now that's great.
Well, yeah.
However, because of the other roles, they actually act next in the initiative order. And so they are going to shoot at you. Now, mechanically, just so you guys know how this works, these are minions. And so the way minions work is that basically they have a base stat block, and then you kind of add or you upgrade it based on the number of minions there are. So in this case, I need to clear this. How do I clear that? No, that's not what I want. All right, go back here. So I need to bring that there. Yeah.
Cool. So it's still working. That's great.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3. They have that. I'm gonna give them a setback as well, and I'm gonna use a dark side point to upgrade. So they're going to be rolling 3 yellows right now. You guys are welcome to use a point if you wish.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Alrighty. So I will
stay the same number
that one. Yep, and then but this is how you're supposed to use them, right? And so the dark side and the light side of the force are battling with each other. All right, and let me see what we get. All right, so.
It's a fun system.
Yeah, 2 successes, but 1 threat. So, let's see. What are there? Let me pull up that.
Did you roll the black die for Griff's cover?
Yep.
Cool.
No, they're not shooting at Griff. They're shooting at Barada because he's kind of the one most close to them.
Griff's ducked into a little alcove right there.
Yeah. Okay. So they deal, let's see, they had 2 successes, so 7, 8, I think it's 2 damage, or 1 damage per each success. 6, 7.
So it's whatever.
So it would be 7 wounds. However, you soak, so it would be 5, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yup.
And this is my brawn. No, 14 wounds, so I'm down 5.
Yep. So you'd be at 9 now. As you see them, right? And keep in mind, like this was all 4 of them shooting at you, right? 2 of them like pew pew, and then maybe one shoots between, but you guys have the next.
Smells like bacon, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So you guys get to go next. So.
Well, instant karma, man. You take it.
Exactly.
All right. So keep in mind, Del, if you want, you get, because of the advantage from Griff, your character can get a boost die to your attack.
Oh yeah.
Do you intend to shoot them?
Well, I've got 4 agility, so is that?
Mm-hmm.
inform?
So if you didn't take any ranks in range light, then
did,
your
two-
base
two
pot
ranks.
2. Okay. So then so you'd have 2 yellow dice and 2 green dice for your positive.
Yep.
Because
then
it's
the
your
boost
4
would-
agility sets the total, and then the yellows are your 2 ranks, and then you have 1 blue dice for your boost, and then
Now, y'all keep saying blue dice, but I have no blue dice.
or well the
the
D6s.
light blue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The light
Gotcha.
blue.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry. The I
you
never
get
remember the
one-
actual names of the dice. The boost dice.
There are boost dice.
Okay.
Yeah,
so 2
boost
green,
dice.
2 yellow, and 1 boost dice.
Yep, and against 2. Well, actually, again, I'm going to use a force point, so it'll be against 1 purple and 1 red.
1 purple.
Well,
1
I
red.
mean, are we gonna use a point?
Why
Well,
not?
I mean,
Go
you.
for it, Phil.
Why not?
Just go for it as
Use a
is.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if you are you going to use a force point or no? Because right now, if you don't, you'll have 3 and I'll have 2. But if you want to use a force point to say
Isabel,
upgrade another
Phil.
one of your greens to a yellow, it just gives you that much more.
Okay. Well, I only have 2 yellows, so I'm kind of screwed.
2 and 2 is not a bad
Do it.
roll at all.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm going to roll it. Okay.
You are okay. No worries. All right, so give it a roll and let's see what happens.
We have 3 light and you have 2 dark.
Okay. So I've got
Yep.
1 yellow success with the explosion. 2. What?
Explosions are success, and then like
These right here on the
sound-looking
boost
things are
dice?
Yeah.
advantage.
Yep. So those are
called
advantage. Yep.
Those are advantage.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got them on my. I got basically a little
Yep.
cheat sheet for all the different types of symbols and
Yeah.
dice down here at
Okay.
the bottom of my character sheet.
Yeah.
So right now
So the-
I've got this is the negative.
The
2 failures
triangles
and a
are
threat. 2 failures and a threat.
Right.
Yep.
So those 2 failures canceled your successes.
Yep.
Right? How many
And
successes
then
did you get? Just 1?
2. So
2.
2, but you
Yeah.
got
Just
2
failure.
failures.
1
right?
threat,
2
and then
failures.
that cancels the 1 success. So I'm looking at 2
Yep.
Yes.
success positive. Because one of the
So
yellow dice can give
advantage,
me
2
squat.
advantage.
2
It sounds
advantage.
like
Yes,
right.
2 advantage.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Cool. So
right,
so
I'm-
ultimately the successes cancel each other out. So you're firing right, and they're ducking out of the way. But you definitely were able to create some sort of advantage. So if you want to use those advantages again to say boost the next player's roll, give them a boost dice, you can. Or if you have another idea of what you might want to use those for,
Oh, I'm gonna be blasting
you
out the
can
side
put
of
it
the
out there,
wall in the alley to make debris
Okay.
kind of roll out and restrict
but-
the
Perfect.
where it goes
Okay.
1 instead of 2 coming through, right?
Awesome. Yeah. So then I'll say that Dax, that'll give you a boost.
Excellent.
Yeah, for the debris kind of kicked up
Shooter
in the
bag
air.
of garbage.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, bag of
Kinda
garbage. It's
like toss a bag of garbage and shoot it to make a garbage explosion.
maybe.
We're gonna do that with a
It's kind of
chicken.
possible. That would.
Now I'm gonna hit the side wall because it was already a little bit compromised anyway, and it's just gonna let the brick
Sure.
work and everything
Okay.
So-
slide down.
So I am going to use a maneuver to aim,
Yep.
and so it's 2 purple difficulty, right?
Yes. So it's 2 purple difficulty, and you
Yeah,
have 2 boosts so far because you used 1
Yes.
maneuver to aim and 1
Yes.
because of the debris distracting them. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'm definitely. Ooh,
3
you guys
light
have
side.
3 light side. Well, I'm gonna do it. The force. You're in the
Right.
the smuggler capital. So right now, I'm gonna use a force point to
Ooh.
upgrade purple. So right now you have 4 light side, and I only have 1 dark side left.
So I will flip one of our light sides, and I'm gonna
Yep.
increase one of my dice to a yellow.
Okay.
All right. So no setback, right? No black die.
No setbacks as of
Oh.
right now. Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna try and shoot them, see what happens.
It's
Oh
So
yeah.
Ooh, triumph.
Dang, man.
Now,
A
and a
triumph.
That's
triumph counts
insane,
as a
man.
success as well. Plus,
Correct.
you have 1, 2, 3, 4 advantage.
At 1, 2, 3, 5 advantage.
5 advantage. There's 2 on
5
the
1,
yellow.
2,
advantage.
3, 4, 5. But do you have one purple that cancels it, right?
Oh yeah.
Hang on.
It's a
Cancels one
4
of them.
advantage and
Sorry,
a
I didn't
try.
see I didn't see the purple. That is
Oh yeah,
correct.
no
This
worries.
cancels this one.
Yep.
And so it's
That's
4
still crazy.
advantages, success and a triumph.
Okay.
You can take 2 extra.
So mechanically, you can actually take out 2 of the 4 of these minions. Your triumph, I'm going to say, normally would trigger like
Can
a
I-
critical. But go ahead.
Yeah.
If you want to use
can I
it
do
differently,
something
yeah.
with the
Yeah,
triumph?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
what I'm thinking is the regular hit already does 1. It does 7 damage. My regular hit.
Mhm. Okay.
He's shooting him with.
So that's enough to take out one just by
it's
itself.
just a blaster pistol. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Like a light blaster pistol?
The
or
body is
No,
squished.
just a
Yes,
standard
right.
blaster pistol, yeah. Because the way it works is it probably has a base of like 6 or 7,
6.
and then you add
6.
1 for each
6
success
plus
you get.
1.
Yeah.
Mine only does 5.
Yeah, because you have I think a holdout or a light
No, it's
blaster.
a light.
You got a squirt gun,
Yeah.
I think.
No, I have a regular.
Sword.
I have a
Yep.
regular blaster.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
3 could be a crit, and that takes out another minion.
Yep.
So that's 2.
Yep.
And so my triumph
hmm
is going to be that one of those shots maybe hits a Tabana gas container from one of the stalls where they were cooking something
Oh,
and
man.
Yeah.
frying something, right? And so
Yep.
that explodes, and maybe that
Yeah.
I don't know, at least distracts them. Maybe
Yeah.
makes
absolutely.
it easier for us to get away.
I'm gonna shoot some.
Yeah.
So-
In fact,
Explosion comes up
there.
behind 'em.
Yeah, you feel
Oh
this
my
like
God.
right this
Shockwave.
heat as like
Yeah.
whatever nasty grease they were using to fry the food
Whoa!
in the cantina nearby literally ignites, and it definitely creates a distraction where for like it gives you guys a moment where if you want to try to leave, you can definitely do so. It will
Excellent.
slow them down.
So
Like a good
the
grease
final
fire in the morning.
advantage I'll give to whoever acts next. They can
Sure.
get a boost die.
So what I'll say is, if you want to make a what is it? Is it athletics to run? I believe
Only
so.
one minion
If
left,
you
right?
want, whoever wants to, if you want to make an athletics, if you want to run, you'll get a boost on your athletics check, and depending on how that goes, will kind of determine the next what
Isn't
you
there
see
only
next.
like one minion left though? One guy.
No, there's 2 minions left.
Well,
Because there were 4 initially. He took out 2 and then went with the gas or the fried oil or whatever.
I mean,
Everything deep fried. That's the name of the
Yeah.
station.
You see these
Like,
these like aerial creatures that maybe it's like a mix between like a
Whoa.
bat and a bird and some kind of and just go flying off some weird like
Start
sewer
spiraling out,
or trash bird, yeah, like
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
yeah, let's go.
I think me.
Turn
the
around and
person-
grab Griff by the
Yeah.
collar.
Oh,
Start dragging. Let's go.
like no.
I see the bodies just wedge themselves on top of each other, just flop, flop.
Yep.
in between that little avalanche or whatever, kind of
No.
pinning
Oh, yeah.
in between there. The other guy trying to
I
crawl
feel like
over him.
Oh yeah, I feel like he went like full on like
gonna be
bullet
dragged
dodge
away.
or bullet time like right, and it's like slow motion as you see like the kill cam from Skyrim, right. But yeah, he takes them out for sure, and then that explosion hits, and I imagine yeah, Dax is like, perfect, this is the time, let's book it, right? And maybe like Griff is like standing there looking like, whoa, and
Like,
Barada's like,
whoa,
oh,
that's
let's go,
awesome.
full on
Dude,
bodyguard
you gotta
style,
teach me that.
Yeah,
getting somebody out of danger.
exactly.
So why don't we do this?
I'm just gonna accept my fate and be dragged away.
Yeah, Griff, go ahead and make an athletics roll for me, if you will.
No.
Actually, no, not Griff. No, not Griff. I'm sorry.
Me.
Either Dax or Barada. Either one.
I
Barada,
got
you go
two
for it.
I don't
greens
have any
and
kind
a
of.
yellow. I got 2 greens and a
Oh,
yellow.
2 greens
first
and a
one.
yellow. Okay,
My agility is
that's pretty
4.
good.
I don't know if that, but I have
Oh,
no.
well, you would have
No.
4 greens, yeah, if you were to roll.
Is it based? I can't remember. Is it based on agility or on brawn for your athletics? Let me
Oh,
just
that
double
is
My
check.
true. It's
agility
brawn.
is
I got
It's
2
on
on brawn
brawn.
and 4
brawn.
on athletics. I mean on agility, but no markups
No,
on athletic.
so
No,
Oh, okay,
no.
so it sounds like Griff. Dax probably has the best.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll let you kind of set the thing here. So this is going to be against a 2 purple difficulty. But I'm also going to give you a boost because you've created that distraction with the fire.
Right.
And I think there was an advantage from.
Yeah,
That
that's
was a
the
floating advantage.
yeah,
So
that's the boost. Yep. So
okay.
Would that be a second boost, or would that be?
no, just the single boost. I think for
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh,
Oh.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh heck
So
Good.
yeah.
That's really good.
a bunch
3
of
successes and 1, 2, 3 advantage, I believe.
3 minus 1 is 2 advantage.
2 advantage.
Okay.
1, 2. No, you have
No, that's
3 advantage because your
and
yellow
3
has a
success.
success and advantage.
Oh.
So 1, 2, 3, and
No,
then
but
4.
I got a setback.
Yeah. So if you take that purple dice and the green dice right below it that has both, just flip that down to a success and take away your purple, and then take away your other purple.
Yep.
And I believe that is your final
good.
result.
3 and 3.
3 and 3.
3 and 3. Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
You got what Mr.
So
Burns. Excellent.
yeah. So what I'll say is, so this is what happens. You book it out of the thing, right? You can kind of hear the guys behind you. What do we do? Our guys are down, right? And so you manage to run through this alley. You kind of duck down, left. You find an illicit deal going on in one of these alleys. You kind of shoulder past them.
Oh, I want some.
Yeah. And you bust out into this another similar kind of opening, somewhat of a smaller market square, but here they have a number of air speeders that are piloted by generally they're piloted by droids, but it's basically a taxi service, right?
Dude, you're playing race
yeah.
Rickshaw droids. Yeah.
Yeah. And
who's driving me?
So Dell's character, but Barada, the big Clatoonian.
Yeah, I'm behind
bodyguard
y'all.
guy.
If I'm going to take
Yeah,
a hit,
just kind of-
that's what you hire me for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm rushing you along and
Yeah.
double looking over my shoulder. Rubberneck.
He's the meat
Drift.
shield.
Oh, Barada, I wanted some of that.
What?
It's like, hey,
Keep going, move it.
What do you need, Dex?
Up on the
Griff,
bike.
can you hotwire one of these speeders?
Oh, can I?
Yes.
I'd like to. Eventually, I'd like to attempt to.
I turn around and get down on my
Hotwire
knee with a
an
gun
air
at the
speeder.
ready.
Okay.
Do we all
and
fit in one? Or do we
Oh
need
yeah,
like-
yeah. It's enough that you could have
steal a
4
taxi.
people. Now normally a droid would drive one of these things. So if
Should I
you
just
do
hack a
attempt
droid?
to, you could either hack it, or you could pay it and say I'm driving.
Pay
Either
it.
way.
You're so funny. Pay the
But,
taxi driver.
or if you want to otherwise do something to this droid and
Dude,
so
I'm
that you
hacking that
can
droid.
hotwire it, yeah.
I'm hotwiring that droid.
So, okay, keep in mind that it is very difficult to hotwire a droid that is controlled.
This
However,
is my computers.
yep, you can do that, and
I have
believe
maximum computers.
you have a data pad, right? So I believe,
I have
or
a
do you have a
data
data
breaker.
spike, a data breaker, and so I think that gives you
So
plus
add 2 boost dice
boost.
to any computer checks made to slice computers.
Yep, which is effectively what you're doing.
Slice
And
and
then
dice.
I'm going to put this against this is going to be against 4 purple because it's daunting because this droid is
Oh my
not,
God.
they're not supposed to be hacked, right? And I'm also going to throw in 1 setback dice, so the black dice, because you're trying to do this kind of in a hurry. Now,
So,
keep in mind, you
what
guys
can
have
I
3
do with
force
light
points.
side points here?
So is your computer's check all green or all yellow?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want, then what you would do in that case is you would just simply add another green dice to the pool if you wish to
Could I
use a
do
force point.
2?
No.
I know.
Well,
I would like to use a light side point to add a green dice.
you can add 1. I think you can only do
Okay.
1 at a time, but
Yeah, I think
Holy crap.
one point is 1 boost, right? And if you're out of
Yeah.
dice because they're all yellow, you just add a green.
Yeah, you just add a
Well, I
green.
guess
Yeah.
Like
let's do
diminishing
this.
returns, I guess.
Yeah.
You hear a growl come out of Barada's. He's like,
Oh
Dude,
salivating.
no, Griff, get it going, get it going.
Yes, I can't do it.
Okay,
Uh,
so you have
Barada starts barking.
you have a success, but you also have a failure. You have 2 failures, so it
I
looks
got
like
nothing,
you have
I don't think.
1 ultimate failure
Nothing of
and
any
oh my god, 1,
consequence.
2, 3, 4. No, knock
droid
those out.
has you,
my
it seems.
thing.
1, 2, 3.
The
So
droid has
one
me.
failure. Yeah, 1 failure and 3 disadvantages.
Oh,
God.
crap. They're coming around the corner now.
No, this
Jeez,
is my
Barada,
thing.
Do you have any credits? I'm out. I spent my last credit at the bar.
How
Oh
much
my
does it
God.
cost?
Well, so you went up to him basically and like stuck the
Dax.
wires, pulled his port,
I
stuck the
think
wires
he's
in.
mad.
Yeah, he's hostile to you now, and he says, "Excuse me, sir. This is against protocol. You will have, I will no longer, I am refusing service to you."
And he shuts down. Yeah.
And it looks like the other droids are looking over, and they have droid solidarity. They're with that's
Right.
so that's how I'm going to use all those disadvantages. Like none of these guys will willingly take you.
You feel a big
for a
hand
ride.
go into your collar again
yeah.
and drag you along.
Now,
Yeah.
I will
Could you
say this.
possibly pick the droid up and just or like toss him off the
Can't
taxi?
get out.
Yeet him.
No,
that-
I'll grab you by the
I mean-
lapels and I'm running because I'm already growling and barking right now anyway.
Wait, what? Are you a dog?
Salivating. Yeah, I'm intimidated,
Well,
which is pretty
yeah,
much
he-
that, you know.
He's scared.
Wait, what was it?
So, Michael, as as Griff is
Got my hackles up.
is like realizing that he wasn't, and the droids are reprimanding him. You guys
we got
hear a
thrown out of
commotion
here.
behind you, and you look behind you, and you see the 2 thugs that are still chasing you, and they're 2 of the smugglers, and they're like, there they are. And the droid
You're
said,
putting my cheese in the wind, Griff.
droid said, call security, call security.
Oh God.
Can I executioner style end this droid?
No,
I
we
mean,
don't have time
you
for
can
that.
shoot the droid, but keep in mind that these guys are right on your butt. Now, it is 3 against 2. However,
Wait, who's the big brawn guy here? Like,
that's Barada. That's
Yeah.
Dad's
Okay.
character.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Barada, can you like kick him out of the car?
No, I look at the droids and say they need a ride, and all the droids toward the 2 incoming thugs.
Oh, okay.
They've
They
got
need a
good
ride.
credits, and then I'll
Okay.
No money.
grab-
They have good money.
pick up Griff and
Me-
keep running.
Like,
Okay,
that was
if you really want to do
This
that,
is
I
not
would
what you paid me
say
for.
not negotiation.
I didn't pay you.
Intimidation,
I'm gonna say maybe deceit.
deceit, yes.
Yeah, so it's based on cunning.
These are on.
Cunning
But now this is
is-
going to be against a 3 purple difficulty.
Okay, well 2.
yeah.
Get
See, all
2
of these
plus 3
skills.
purple.
I don't any of these skills.
Okay,
Like, the seat is not on my character sheet.
okay, I got.
all right. I'll print it.
2 success and 1. What is the little Caesar-esque?
The
leaf-
advantage.
The little
Advantage.
yeah.
Thank you.
thing.
Yeah.
2 success,
Yeah,
1
I think
advantage,
the
2 disadvantage.
yeah.
No, 3 disadvantage and 1 failure. So I got ultimately 1 failure, and 1 success and 2 failures is what it equates to.
1 success and
2
2
threats.
disadvantage. 2 threats. Okay,
Yeah.
2 threats. Perfect. Okay. So, okay. So I think then what happens is they look to the thugs and they said, "Oh, do you need a ride? This is Narsha Da, taxi service, blah blah blah,
Yeah, like
and so
4 or
they're
5 of them
definitely
pulling
and they will like be kind of approaching the 2 thugs. However, these guys are not in any mood to be deterred. And
that was
so
good, Del.
yeah,
Whoa.
they
I mean, Dax. Wait, no.
yeah,
Barada.
well, I think it
The
was
Barada.
Barada. Yeah,
Names.
they quickly get rid of these guys. But you do see that as you guys were like standing on this sort of landing platform, right? This like it looks like a few speeder bikes come, and you like come into land, right? And you guys have to like get out of the way, jump out of the way. These guys almost hit you. They came in way too fast, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing just standing there? Get out of there!"
Were these like manned?
Oh yeah. There are people on them. There was 3, and then you can see a little distance back. It's a motorcycle, but it's yeah. But it flies in the air. And so you see more are going to be coming in. This might be like a biker gang.
Oh, no.
Well, we should obviously rob the biker. No, that'd be...
You rob the biker gang? Probably not. So you guys have the opportunity to run if you want to, but now is your chance.
Yeah, let's take advantage of this distraction, Griff. Come on.
Like, but I don't want.
So, Michael, make a vigilance roll for me against 2 purple. Vigilance. Yep. No, actually, hold on. Let me check really quick. Vigilance. Yeah, I think so. That's based on your will.
Awareness. Yeah, it's like awareness.
Yeah.
Can I use a light side to?
Now I got 1 step or 1 rank in vigilance too.
Yeah, you can, Michael, if you want to.
Because that use the light side point.
Yep.
To make
so
increase. Yellow?
Yeah.
Dang. There's nothing on my yellow. Okay, so.
You just got 2 threats.
Ooh.
2 threats. Well, no, you got two failures there because
failures.
Yeah. So just so straight up 2 failures. Okay. So here's how.
I mean, there's 2 successes.
No, because so the little symbols on the green die are advantages. Yep, and so the little TIE fighter symbols are the disadvantages, so they cancel out, which would make both purple dice only failures.
So it's just right? It's just...
Griff takes another point of strain as he is fighting hard against this like adrenaline, junkie mentality that he's going on. He wants to like
it's addiction and adrenaline rush. I'm playing a stim junkie and I'm loving it.
Yeah, because stims, of course, would be that stimulant, that adrenaline, right? And so you're like high on that.
It's amazing,
right? And so,
I mean, I probably popped a stim earlier.
2 failures, yeah. So you took that.
Let's focus some of that energy and run.
Yep.
Run for God's sake.
And
focus. I can't focus. I'm
you hear
embodiment of ADHD.
Choo, 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 choo. They're starting to shoot at you. Yeah. So you guys run again.
Well, fine.
I'm gonna
have to be dragged though.
Well, I would drag you if I wasn't commandeering one of those biker gangs that are swooping in.
You're gonna take one of the bikes?
I want to clothesline one of the riders and hop on the bike itself.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so seeing
yeah.
that, I would like to like
Eloy's
Griff
like, oh
sees
my
that, and
god.
I want to try to do the same thing, but
All
like
right.
no, I guess not
So
clothesline. Probably just like clumsily try to push one off.
brawl check
Yeah.
Oh
for
God.
Barada. No, he's good at brawl, I
Oh,
think.
No, it's good
Against
too.
maybe. Oh, okay. So against these guys are 2 purple. Now you're gonna have 2 setbacks. One because you've literally got Twitchy McGee over here, like, distracting you, and you've got gunfire, right? Like blaster
I
fire,
am
pew, pew, pew.
such a good team.
Now
I
keep in
love this
mind, right
game.
now, I have 4 dark side points, so I will be spending one
How do
to
you?
upgrade
Oh,
one of
wait, so
those
we only have one
purples.
light side?
No, right now you're back to 2 because I just spent one. So you
Oh,
have 2 light side points. I have 3 dark side, and I had just upgraded one of the purple dice to a red dice.
Okay,
So,
so purple, red
I
against 2
mean,
green.
yep, and 2
what do
black
I
dice
have to
because you
roll for trying
have
to like
yeah.
Almighty.
Yeah.
clumsily
Now you
mug
can
one?
use a light side if you want to upgrade one
Ooh.
of your green.
Well,
I'm
actually, I'm
going
gonna
back
keep
up
it
to
like it
4
is. I
dark.
already rolled.
Mhm.
That
Okay.
is 3 threat, 2 failure, and 2 success. So 3 threat.
Okay.
Oh, we're
So
so not good. This is horrible.
Are we not succeeding or not?
I mean,
No.
what
so
do
No.
I do? I
no,
roll
he
something?
no. So what happens here? So this is what happens, right?
Yeah.
You are able to like overpower this biker because you catch him off guard, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of like knock him to the ground. You go to jump on his bike, but the problem is that his, it's
God,
like
Steve.
yeah, well, his bike is really like it's still hot from coming in, right? And so I think what happens is between
You
the
just made him
stress
mad.
of all of that, this hot bike, you have to jump off because it's real hot. You're gonna take 1 strain, Barada, and this is mechanically again, this is how I'm kind of using the
Thought
threats that you
system.
got. So
Can
but
I
you
try
are
to
not
like
able to take off with his bike. Now the rest of the gang is turning to you like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
can I like grab my gun, not shoot it, just point it at one near me and be like, "Give me your bike."
So here's what I'm gonna say. Right now, because imagine this is like a Star Wars movie or a show or whatever, right?
Mhm.
So here's what happens. Everything is sort of in slow motion for a minute, right? You see the Cordovas's like 2 remaining guys coming in, right? They've got pistols aimed. They're getting ready. There's 2 other bikers right here that seem like they're going to try to beat the crap out of you for hurting their dude. There's more that seem to be coming in. Like you could see them. They're literally like making an approach. And because this is outside of a nightclub, and you look over the edge of the platform, and you can just see all of the different speeders going all over the place. So in this moment you can run, you can fight, or you could take an opportunity to do something real crazy and
Jump.
jump off, and hopefully you can
Dude,
land on a speeder.
that's me. I'm jumping. You shouldn't have told me
And
this.
what I will do is I
Damn,
will
I'm doing
say if
adrenaline.
you
That's my
want
obligation
to
to.
use a destiny point to kind of help, Anakin style it, right?
Yeah,
We can let that happen if you want to.
you.
But
I
do
mean, I
you
have to,
of those
right?
3 options, what do you want to do?
I want to jump.
I'm running. We still need to acquire a
I'm
ship.
just
If
putting
you
it out
jump, I'm
there.
gonna barely miss you. You know what I mean? From grabbing you
I'm
again.
just gonna put. I would like to jump. I am open for other options, but my adrenaline obligation is rolled. So jumping off a cliff onto a speeding hover bike
Well, or it might not be. It could be like some kind
or
of like,
other
space
type of
truck,
ship,
or like
a
Jarvis,
space
it's like better
trucker.
off
yeah.
dead.
Yeah, right.
Somebody
Exactly.
threw away a
So
perfectly good white boy.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's
If
like
you
imagine somebody
can,
jumping from an overpass and like landing
Right.
on the
oh my
top of the
God.
18-wheeler, right? It's like,
If you can give Griff a more fun idea than jumping off of a bridge onto a like moving truck, I will. I
oh,
Make
will.
it so.
all right, I have an idea. This is what I'll do. I'm going to use one of my dark side points. So I'll be at 2. You guys have 3 now. A like flying security droid comes in, and because again, right? It's like there is security. There is sort of like a port security, right? And so it's this droid, almost kind of like the Imperial security droids, but they're like. This one's a little bit bigger and definitely has like more guns, and it goes right, and it's like scanning the area, and then you hear this like, everybody weapons down and get on the ground. So there is another flying object, but one that is
Oh
closer to you that doesn't require
no!
jumping
You're killing
into
me.
traffic.
I. Uh.
Well, I can't compromise anything by getting
Eloy's
lost,
just
but
sitting here like, oh my god.
I know. You run.
I'm just sitting here like, oh my God. I.
To my mind, though, I'm
You.
following the other 2. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
in the rear. All I'm
right.
trying to do is cause some
Well,
distraction to slow down our pursuers.
what does this security droid drone look like?
So it's kind of like mostly like a circular droid, that
Or
is,
like a
it's a combination of like black and red. It has some like, almost, what do you want to call them? Not mandibles, but like landing, gear or whatever on it. And it's bristled
Is it kind of like
with
a?
weapons.
I
Because
think
in
I
Nar
have
Shaddaa,
an idea.
they're not going to ever
Ooh.
arrest you. If you
Well,
don't
Just
do
you.
what they say, they will just kill
I'm gonna
you,
shoot
right?
you.
Yeah.
It's so heavily armed. I have to. Can I attempt to hack the security droid?
Yes,
It's
you
gonna be
absolutely
hard, but
can. Now, what I'm trying to think is,
You may try.
if you want to do it remotely, it's going to be much more
Yeah.
difficult. If you want
Oh,
to try to
okay.
do it physically, where you
I
would
want to do
like,
it physically
okay,
and use a light side point to help me whenever I can.
yeah. So the first thing that you would need to do
Or
is
maybe
make an
two.
athletics check, an
Oh
athletics
God.
roll.
I may be using some of our.
Do you have athletics on your sheet?
I do, yes.
Okay, good. So yeah. So you're gonna have to do that.
How
Now
do we
this
feel
is
about giving him
going,
4 dark side points?
well, hold
Because
on.
I want to buff up my
This
athletics.
is you can only use one force dice
I know.
per like encounter. But
Per
this
roll,
it's not
yes.
going to be particularly hard to get onto this droid. I mean, it's hovering pretty close to you all, so it's only going to be a 2 purple difficulty there. However,
A setback?
2 setbacks because you got angry bikers, you have thugs
Yeah.
shooting at you, and this thing is definitely
No, I
Okay.
mean, are they
like
Can
complying to
I?
his order?
no, nobody's complying.
Can
Okay.
I use a light side
But
point?
it's, yes, you can. It is it's still in that split second before anything else happens. And I'm also going to use one to make the purple a red.
Oh.
Yep. So you guys are back to 3 light. However, I think. Oh, and you can add a. Is it 1 or 2 boosts for your
For
computer
what?
for your
2 boosts.
data breaker? Yeah. So there you go. Well, actually, no. Don't
So,
add the boost yet because this is for athletics. I'm sorry.
good point.
Yep. Yep. So roll those.
Hmm.
Do it.
Okay, 1. That's a double. That's a triumph.
Yep.
That
So that counts
that
as a
Uh,
success. So what'll happen
that's
here
1
is
means
it will
nothing.
cancel out the failure on your red die will cancel out the success part of your triumph. However, the triumph still gives you other things as well. Now let's see. You
Okay.
have 2 advantage. So remove the yellow dice with the advantage and remove the red and the purple dice because those cancel out. So you have effectively a triumph without a success and a threat. So here's what I'm going to say happens. You manage to get up to this droid, right? It actually starts shooting at you because threat detected, back up, right? But you manage to dodge through all of that because you're so hyped up, and whatever. And you get to the thing. Now, what I'm going to say is that you have successfully gotten onto this thing, and you can make a computer's check. However, it is going to it's going to be against 3 purple, and you're going to have 2 setback dice because 1 for the disadvantage, but I'm gonna remove. I basically took away the red dice and made it a purple dice because of your triumph. So this is your dice pool.
What could I do with light side points in this scenario?
So if you wanted to, you would add a green dice.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. And I will let that stand for now. So go ahead and roll your dice.
Okay, that's nothing. That's nothing.
Oh, you got another triumph over there.
Oh, that's double. That's triumph.
You have no failures?
That's double. That's double.
Whoa.
Those
holy
cancel
crap,
out.
dude.
That cancel out. These cancel out, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Those cancel, and then flip that.
So
yeah. Holy
4
crap.
advantage, 1 triumph, and 3 successes.
Actually, 4 successes because a triumph counts as a success.
Counts as a success.
Yes.
And a triumph.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's riding that thing as it spins around and starts gunning
Right. If you want to, that can be exactly what happens.
Yes.
You can basically have hacked it so that it yeah, and you basically. So here's what happens, right? This droid is literally just like spinning, shooting everybody. The bikers are going down. It takes out the 2 thugs, and Barada and Dax, you got literally it's like blaster fire all around you, but not hitting you. It's like it's programmed to not shoot you. And you see the other bikers that were coming in, they're going zzz, right, and they veer away. They're like, oh my god.
It even takes yelling.
Yeah,
this wasn't the plan. This
is the new plan.
Droid, 2 of the droids take off in their speeders. They're like, get out of here.
I'm probably just
one of them gets shot, and then the other one is like ducked down in their speeder, trying to avoid gunfire. Eventually the firing stops as the droids the energy packs or whatever, and you see the droid kind of and so it's barely hovering at this point.
And I'm standing there, mouth agape, as the blaster fire was all around me, and I'll just drop my blaster pistol in disbelief as all the just carnage is around, and I'm standing in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I come out from cover. I say, this wasn't the plan, but I like it.
Dax. This was new plan.
This was my plan. So in actuality, with that result, that's probably way more awesome than mechanically it could have been. But when you get 4 successes, a triumph, and 4 advantages, I feel like that's about as good as you're gonna get in this game.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty damn epic. Yeah.
I know he's auto. The ship will just land right beside us or whatever. Like
and so keep in mind, you do have. There is now an unattended speeder.
Dude, wait, can I get on a bike?
Available?
Yeah.
Yes, you could get on one of the bikes if you want to. Do you have piloting planetary?
Yes, he does.
I do actually. Piloting planetaries. This thing.
All right. Now, There are 2 other speeder bikes. There's also an unattended speeder, like regular air speeder, right? Which could accommodate up to 4 people. So
I don't care what you guys
currently,
ride
as of
on.
right now, the immediate threat is gone. But on Nar Shaddaa, it's never that way for long.
Easy.
Yeah.
Shoot,
Narada, can you fly? Are you good at flying these things?
No, but I'm picking up that droid or whatever, and I'm taking it with us because that's nice. So
the security droid or the driver droid?
No, the security droid.
Okay.
Because it can be utilized later is what Barada's thinking, but he's putting it in the side seat of the 4-seater. And
Okay.
I'm looking at Griff.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Griff, drive the speeder, Griff.
Yeah, they need you to be the pilot. You can't keep these bikes. Keep in mind.
Dax, I'll drive freaking speeder.
Okay. So
goodbye.
When you were on whatever planet you were on and you were first going for your airspeeder license, you remembered that, the manual said, okay, you have to, use the little turn signal and merge in safely. But they didn't account for the fact that, like, everything, all the drivers here on Nar Shaddaa are just bananas. They're crazy. Yeah. And so you realize that what you're going to have to do is probably gun it into this traffic. Now, it shouldn't be all that difficult, but here's the other problem. There was just a massive shootout in a highly populated area outside of a nightclub. You can hear sirens of security, like, real close by. You know that the port police or whoever are going to show up very soon. So if you want to do this, you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So that said, Griff, you'll have to make a piloting roll for me. It's just going to be against 2 purple, but there are going to be 2 setbacks because of the density of the traffic.
I see. Hold on, I'm in my OBS making it so I can have my face cam because I'm making such good expressions that I can't just. But I don't want my face on my channel yet.
Yep. All right. So, what's your piloting planetary? You're like, oh my god.
The 2 green and 1 yellow.
1 yellow. Okay. Against 2 purple and 2 black.
Okay. Well, can I use the light side to make my greens a yellow?
Yeah, you can do that. That'll put you guys right now at 1 light side, and I'll have 4 dark side.
Yes, okay. Don't go mad with power.
You know me.
That's my whole job.
Yeah, no promises.
Okay, so that's 2 success, 2 threat, and then another threat, and then those 2 don't exist. Oh my god, another 2 threat. So I got a total of 1 advantage, 3 success, and then 4 despair. Nope. 4.
So an advantage and a threat will cancel each other out. Okay, so take your purple dice and your yellow dice and cancel each other out.
No, he's
that
got like
one and that one.
Hang on.
And then you have, those were advantages, weren't they? That yellow dice was 2 advantages initially. And then, that one and 1 of your purple dice go away. And then flip your yellow dice to just 1 success and remove the black dice because that cancels out. Yeah. And I believe that's your final, is 1 success and 2 threat. Unless you have other dice that I can't see.
Nope.
Okay. Nice. All right. So you kind of gun the speeder right into the traffic, and you kind of weave in, and you hear right, from one of the vehicles as it swerves out of the way. You see this like alien like shake its, whatever appendage it is at you. Hey, learn how to drive, right? And then you have merged into traffic. Now, you know the general direction that you need to go to get to your ship. But as you are kind of going along with the flow of traffic, you kind of like peek in the rearview mirror that are on these things, and you start to see a couple of security speeders, kind of hovering. But they're staying far enough back at this point because you did just like you were responsible for this massive carnage, right? And so they want to be prepared. However, you also, I would think, Barada, as you're maybe like looking back, right, trying to like gauge what's happening, you see it looks like a Z95 headhunter, like kind of a precursor to an X-wing, right, is off in the distance, but it's coming in your direction. And flying a Z95 this low in the city is pretty unusual.
Oh, those things look crazy.
Yeah. But you get a bad feeling about this, that this thing is heading in right towards you guys.
We need to get to the ship now.
We need to get out of here.
Yep.
Gun it.
That's like a big ship.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fighter. It's a fighter ship.
It's insane looking. Is there like a special thing I can do to go faster?
Press that
pedal. Yes, however,
further.
Yep. However, before that happens, on the little like communicator device on the ship, on the speeder that you guys are on, you get this this voice that says, "Are you the ones responsible for killing my crew? This is Cortavas.
Who are your crew?"
It's like, "I am Cortavas. You've stolen something from me, and I mean to take it back."
Like
and then, Barada, you would hear, right? Female voice.
She's
Corta.
The bricks from?
Yeah, the pucks. Yeah, the little. Yeah, yep. And so, she's like,
"Depends. Who's your crew?"
I'll bang on the security droid. Griff, is there any juice left in this thing?
Well, he's piloting, so he can only do so much. But
can't really look back there. I'm fast steering right now.
So, yes, what you can do.
I'll bang just if it goes about,
Just like
stop smacking the droid.
Just like in regular action, starships and speeders also have maneuvers and actions. No, this does not have guns. This is a taxi, basically.
Yeah.
You have guns. Yeah, but you're not on the bike.
What's our ETA to the ship?
So, I guess who would be riding shotgun, so to speak?
I thought the droid was.
Well, did you put the droid in the front or in the back?
I'll say I'm in the back with the droid.
With the droid? Okay.
Okay, so I'm riding.
So, stop smacking the droid.
Dex, do you have any? Make a computer check for me. It'll just be against 2 difficulty. No, just straight up. Now keep in mind, and this will be just kind of to determine you're kind of plotting a course or whatever, so to speak, but not quite astrogation.
I'm not very good at this.
That's okay. You're pulling up Coruscant maps.
What are you doing? That's my job.
Okay, so cancel down.
That's a wash. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep. So because you're piloting, you're literally actively trying to like not get crushed by other cars or speeders.
Or shot.
So
okay, we're gonna go left. No, wait, right. No, left.
Do you even know what you're doing?
Hang on. I think I got the map backwards.
Go that way.
You have the map upside down.
He's like, hold on. I need an update. Hold on.
I'm
He's waiting for the
guy.
download. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You're supposed to shoot things.
So, I think in the process of trying to kind of figure out the quickest route, you actually cut off the communicator right as Corto was about to speak to you again. And Barada, you would see like you'd almost maybe hear it and feel it too. That Z95, it like goes, full throttle. It's coming at you.
Yeah.
So
We
at
gotta
this
go
point,
faster.
Griff, like generally where you guys need to go. You'll be able to find it. You can put in your coordinates without any problem, and the nav system will like tell you where to go. But the problem is that you're gonna have to go much faster than would be safely
Can I go
advised. So
above the traffic?
yeah, absolutely. You can. Now you got to keep in mind though that there are multiple levels, right? This is a city that's vertical.
Confused.
And so you guys are in like
style?
Yeah, it navigates through the back streets.
Yeah. So keep in mind, up, down, like there's traffic. This is a very crowded area. Yeah. You're in a lane, right? A traffic lane in the sky.
Okay, so
there will be traffic lanes above you, below you, to the left. Yeah. So absolutely. So now keep in mind that there is an evasive actions maneuver, which would mean, now what this is only really important if you're being attacked, but keep in mind, you can also go immediately, you can use the punch it maneuver to go directly to full speed on this thing. So what that will mean is that your vehicle, though, will suffer 1 point of vehicle strain per point of increased speed. So right now, if you are going to go to full speed, your vehicle is going to take 2 strain. And I believe it only has, I have to find it, but I think it has 8 strain total. Okay. System strain.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I'm punching it.
So you go
probably actually.
Right. And then and then let's see. You
Dax in the back is the one punching.
Yep. If Dax wants to try to help co-pilot, you certainly can.
That would be great. Yes.
Okay. And so
extra blaster. Start shooting.
So you'll just make a piloting planetary against 2 difficulty. But I am going to add in a setback as well, because of course you guys are going at high rates of speed. And because I have 4 dark side points, I might as well use them. So I'm going to upgrade one of your purples to a red. Oof. Yep. Right. Now, keep in mind, in this case, if you get... So any successes effectively add a purple dice to your pursuer's piloting check to pursue you.
All right. So...
Oh no! I'm sorry. No, it doesn't. It negates a purple from Michael's. I'm sorry. Piloting check. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Give any of those.
So it makes your piloting easier because you have a piloting check.
I want to be taking pot shots at the.
Is that a wash?
Yes.
No, it is no successes. And two threats. Okay.
That's not good.
He's desperately trying to help you here, but what happens is you're kind of punching the vehicle, right? And I think you go one way, and I think Dex is trying to help you pilot here, and perhaps he overcorrects a little bit, and so it does take your you were going up to full speed, and then you have to correct again to not like smash into a gigantic building.
No,
but
left, not right.
it slows your speed down a little bit.
Dex, no.
Now, one thing you can do, so you're going right, and Barada, you see the Z95 takes advantage of this. That thing is way faster, right? Of course, because it's a fighter, but it goes
just taking shots,
right, and it comes flying in. Yeah, and you see that its guns are, like. They don't go. It doesn't have attack. S-foils in attack position because it doesn't have any. It's just a fixed wing. But you see like it's maneuvering, like it's trying to get ready to shoot you.
It's trying to shoot us.
Well, yes, but the nice thing is you are
God.
in a heavy traffic flow. So you realize that as long as you can either stay positioned perfectly in this traffic, or you can get yourself to a spot where it's too small for a fighter to go,
Yeah, the
you'll
back alley.
maybe be okay. Yeah.
Oh
Now,
God. This is where we would help the
what I'll
bikes.
do is I'm gonna have Griff and Dax. Actually, why don't all of you make a roll for me? Is it perception? I believe it is.
Yeah,
Make a perception roll. It's just not based on your cunning attribute. So your characteristic of
So two?
what's your
two green dice?
Yeah, so you just roll 2 green.
Are we sure
And
I
this
don't
is just
have
gonna
those?
be against a 1 purple difficulty.
No, I got 1 rank in perception, so I roll 3 green, right?
What are the
No,
triangles?
so 1 rank in perception. What's your cunning?
Cunning is
Stat.
2.
So you roll 2 green and 1 yellow.
Okay.
What do the triangles cancel out?
The triangles are
cancel
failures.
successes.
Yeah, so they cancel success.
So I have
okay.
1 triumph. Wait, no, 1 advantage and 1 success.
Okay, and Dell has 5 successes. Eloy has 1 success. So, all right, you guys, almost as if like the force is guiding your vision. You all kind of look at once, and you see that there's this like gigantic crane that is moving like a big like cylinder of Duracrete for a construction project. And so you know that it's going to come, and you can kind of gauge the trajectory of it, that if you make it at just the right speed and just the right timing, you could probably pop right through that. And it's way too small for a fighter to fit through. So if you want to go there,
God, messing that up would be
that's your chance.
devastating. How far down is the closest ground?
Well, so
keep
in mind that like this is like hundreds of feet. The city goes up vertically high, so you got to go to
far?
Yes, and the ground is literally like the dark undercity. Like it's scary. Now there are different levels. So for example, there will be street level and whatever you can pull in.
Flip a wing or something, whatever this.
Yeah.
No
wing. Just a
into
car.
the thing. Or clip it.
That would not be great, but keep in mind that this is Star Wars, so everything is cinematic. You always have an option to fix it.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Thread that needle.
All right. So, yes, you're going to make a piloting check.
Yep.
So, I'm going to use a light side point for our safety.
Okay, but I'm also going to use a dark side point back, because otherwise I'd be at 4 and you guys would be at 1. So yes, you upgrade your piloting planetary, but you also have to upgrade the difficulty. So this is actually going to be 2 purple and 1 red for you, Michael. And then because the high rate of speed, you definitely have
purple and oh god.
Yep, you definitely have 1 setback as well, so a black dice.
Well, this is a very
but I'm going to give you 2 boost dice though, because
why?
Because of all the successes that you guys got. I'm gonna say that like you tuned in on it early enough that you can really kind of gauge the trajectory. So let's see what we get here.
Okay.
This isn't part of the plan either.
Okay.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh gosh, this is not good.
No, you're okay. You have those are 2 successes.
Those
so take your
successes.
Yeah, so reds and yellows go by.
Cancel
looks like you have a ton of at least 3 successes there.
I think we take that.
No, I think you have 3. It looked like you have 3 successes and 1 threat or 2 threat.
I think we have 3 successes and 1 threat.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Which I think is pretty good.
Yep. So you are in traffic, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you go, right, and you jump up, and then like you can see that the thing is coming around, right? And yeah, I imagine almost Dex might like close his eyes, right, as you're kind of going into this tunnel. Now, you have this does take its toll though on the engine of your vehicle because you really have to like right gun it through there. Now you'll see just as like you guys punch it into the tunnel, into this little like Duracrete cylinder.
Yeah.
Barati, you would be maybe looking back a little bit, and you see the Z95 like do like a quick like maneuver to get up and out of there because she was gonna crash right into it. And you sort of you're in the cylinder, you kind of light like dunk, dunk, dunk against the sides, but then you come shooting out.
Well, before that happens, I was frustrated with beating on that thing to make it work, so I'm just going to take it and throw it inside the cylinder as we exit it. All right,
okay. And so, yeah, yeah, because think of this as like a convertible. Well, it was gonna recover eventually, right? And so you throw it out, then just as you are about to punch out of the, and you feel this
bathwater,
right, as the droid explodes against the thing, and you hear this as the whole like cylinder shakes, right, and moves. You guys are clear of it. You're free.
Oh, yeah,
but you see the cables holding it go right, and then like again, almost as in slow motion, you start to see the cylinder like break free of its moorings and start falling down into, and you can see this like droid and maybe like some creature up there being like, oh,
That wasn't part of my plan.
That wasn't part of the plan. So here's what happens. You manage to make it. Now you are very close to the starport or the landing port where your ship is moored. However, almost like if a car was out of gas, like this speeder is like you pushed its engine too hard and its its core or whatever is starting to and so you're gonna have to put down here pretty soon. Now what I would say is as you look around, you realize that you can't just fly the speeder right into the spaceport. That's not allowed. But it's very common that you would take a speeder up to the entrance of the spaceport, right? Well, I want to make sure I'm adequately conveying the level of threat that would occur if you were to violate protocol. It would be very bad for you. You would get to go, you'd be impressed to work in like a Imperial shipping yard, and you wouldn't get pay. You'd have to pay off debt. Anyway.
But like if we can escape fast enough.
If you can meet Cal Kestis, you might be okay.
Like, Loretta, should we just like land right at the place?
To the ship.
No.
But it'd be fast.
We're good. Let's bring it down. Let's just bring it down. Walk to the ship.
Right on top of someone else's ship.
Give him a sedative, for God's sake.
It's like, no, I need more stims.
And so, you kind of like you can sort of you can't even help it. It's sort of like and you might like drop suddenly as like the repulsors give out for a minute, and then you're kind of you're doing everything you can to just kind of keep this thing steady. And I think it comes to you come down and there's like these, it's not like a parking lot that has like paint, right? But it would be like these little like light strips that would indicate where you would park, and you kind of like and then you kind of like spin it around and manage to at the very end right into the parking spot.
Flawless parking.
It's like a glove. See? Yep. And and then you get out, and definitely people were looking around at you, but like not even as it's that weird, because there's all kinds of stick jockeys and bozos that like to fly in and out of here at all kinds of ridiculous speeds. So they're just kind of happy that nothing got damaged, right? But your speeder is definitely
turns around with a crane.
Yeah. Well, that's over there.
Yeah.
Nothing was damaged.
And so as you come up to the entrance to the starport, it's very similar to like there would be like these vestibules where people would sit, the officials, and you would show them your creds to be, your credentials to be like, okay, this is my ship, this is the landing bay that it's in, whatever. And so as
Do I still
you,
have it?
yeah, you guys would all
After all the like,
have it, yeah. And as you go up to them, the official or whatever in the booth, it's a droid, and it looks back to you and it says, "Oh my, there seems to be a bit of a problem. It looks like your ship has been put on no-fly status until a matter of investigation has been wrapped up. So, I regret to inform you that for right now, your ship is impounded."
I grab
Well, guess
Griff
it has
by
to
the
be this
shoulder
way.
and turn him around and kind of lean in.
No.
Can you not hack this and change that status? And then I stand up.
You probably could.
I can't.
Well, keep in mind that she's not saying you can't go into the spaceport, into the landing bay.
No.
If you can get your access to a computer, you might be able to.
I probably can't. Just like jump through the window.
No.
Is it like a ticket booth? Sort of like
yeah, sort of.
I turn around a little bit and make sure that we're not being followed. I'm already paranoid enough as it is.
No, you're
just
okay.
Need to get off this planet. This planetoid.
So I'll take a look around the
ship. I already blew up enough stuff. I should probably get out of here.
Do you guys go to the ship?
Yeah.
Can we?
Yeah.
Let's go to the ship, see.
Yeah. So you can go to the ship, and it definitely has a mechanical. No, it's got it's like the equivalent of a boot, right? It's got the mechanical.
No.
Yeah. The gravity clamp that is preventing it from leaving. Plus, the other thing that the starports will often do is have some sort of like gravity field or whatever that will, or they'll put like a dampener on your thrusters to make sure you can't leave. But yeah, it's clamped down for now. But again, this is either, it could be mechanically disabled, or potentially you could disable it from the computer. But you would have to get to the starport, like one of the official starport computers. Yeah.
Could we just hit it hard enough?
So keep in mind, this is a great big thing, in theory, yes. If you spend enough time, you could either dismantle it, but keep in mind that like all the starports have cameras, like they don't want you to damage their stuff.
Let's just see if we can get into the spaceport control and maybe sneak in there with some pretext, and maybe you can hack the thing,
maybe
so
you can
that it clears the investigation, right? Or you just remove the impound
remove the police documents.
It sounds like a job for
something that I can do.
A hacker.
Yeah. All right.
Not a hacker,
so
but smooch your way in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If we have a face character who can get you through,
talk our way in, hopefully. If not, then we'll look for an alternative.
Yeah.
So
now, what I'm going to do at this point is your like data pads, you get a like a little beep 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 beep, like a communication or whatever comes through.
Hello?
Well, no, just like your data pad would be like your communicator, right? And so it's basically a message from Gort, right, the Hutt, saying that he is going to be returning to Hutt space hopefully soon, but that he wants you to meet him at a location in the Outer Rim to deliver the goods. And he says that he's going to provide you with the coordinates, the astrogation coordinates, but that he needs you to leave like immediately. He's like, time is of the essence.
You heard the man.
And he said, and then he says, of course, and remember, failure will have particularly harsh consequences. And then what's going to happen at that point is the camera would zoom out and you would see, written and directed by George Lucas, whatever. That's where we'll cut the session for now.
Be continued. Yes.
Yep, to be continued, as you will have to remove your ship from impound. And hopefully do it quickly.
We can talk our way in there, and if that doesn't work, then we'll sneak our way in there. We'll look for.
And if that doesn't work, you can shoot your way in.
Exactly.
Talking and sneaking, that is a thing that is possible. But
so I could talk us in, and then you have to hack it. At least I could try to talk us in.
Yeah, you can absolutely try. So let's see. So you had you stole from a rival smuggler at the orders of your boss, who then sent her goons to try to kill you. You ran away from them, but managed to, in an insane display of, both technical wizardry and carnage, managed to destroy an entire, area right outside of a nightclub. Then hop in a speeder, be pursued by Cordovas herself, the very smuggler that you stole from in a fighter. Managed to maneuver your way through a Duracrete cylinder, but at the very end it exploded because Del threw the droid out, right, and it caused an explosion which weakened the cables, causing that to crash down. Just to maneuver your speeder like a boss into the parking spot, just to find out that your ship is impounded. And you're gonna have to figure out how to get out of that conundrum. Next week on Edge of the Empire. No.
Figure out.
Man,
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, good. And and again, I know, Eloy, you've played enough that you know the dice system. But for Del and Michael, certainly, like, did you feel pretty good in terms of understanding sort of how the dice work and kind of what the impact is of your failures, your successes, your advantages, whatever?
Yeah, I mean, it was coming back to, it's been a long time since I played that. And
because I remember you guys probably played 3 years ago or 2, something like that, right? Yeah,
at least 3 minimum.
Yeah,
I mean, the last time I think was with Antoine when he led.
Yeah. But the more you play, the more it starts becoming familiar, right? And then it's just a matter of getting comfortable with the narration of, like, at one point, what we used to do when we were all like proficient at it, you narrate, you the player narrate your advantages, and your triumphs, and then the DM handles the threats,
the negative,
and the spares, right?
Yep.
Once you get to that point where you like sort of trust each other, because I thought of the droid spinning and shooting the cannons, right? It's like that's a good idea for a triumph, right? And then that's exactly what you went and did.
Yeah.
So and
that's awesome.
I narrated the Tabana gas canister exploding. Right? What that means, I left up to you, right?
Yeah. Totally.
You could have killed the rest of the other 2 guys or whatever, but the idea, the narration is the cool part, right?
Definitely. And that's where I hope to be able to get to as well, is that once you guys are sort of like, okay, cool, like I get the dice mechanic, right? Then we're just going to let it flow, and I'll be like, all right, cool, like you tell me, you didn't succeed, however, you got these advantages, like what does that look like, right? And like you said, maybe, or Del said, like I shoot the wall, right, which causes that concrete, Duracrete to like,
I can just see him shooting those 2 guys that were popping up behind it, and then their bodies just flopping down, creating more of a barrier, and the other guy trying to crawl over them. I'm like, dude, let's get the heck out of here.
Oh, definitely. Well, I loved it too, because with that, when you talked about, I forget who mentioned it, about the like the grease or the gas or whatever. Was that you, Eloy? That yeah. And then I was like,
banana gas containers.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. And I love that
exploded.
because I was like, oh, explosions. That's great.
Right behind them.
That's always great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Even
most
that whole
important part with
marketplace.
Star Wars, right?
Oh yeah.
Is keep it kinetic,
Yeah.
right? And explosions and shots and chases.
I can't
as long as
believe
they're
you
doing
threw
that.
away the battle droid.
Well, to be
Like, you could
fair,
have at
it
least
wasn't a
taken
battle
some
droid.
of the guns off at first.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that still wouldn't have stayed permanently hacked. Probably, you would have had to keep,
Yeah. But I mean, to me, going through that,
yeah,
just let it out and be more of an obstacle if that thing was flying
yeah,
through.
exactly.
So I would have did that anyway.
No, well, and it was great. Now, hopefully, there aren't a bunch of like cameras that caught all of that and saw exactly who did it.
We're
but
so going to prison.
Well, it's nuts.
No,
We just left
we'll
chaos
see.
in our wake the whole time.
Oh,
From
yeah.
the explosion, that whole marketplace is like in ruins, and
right.
and then
Well,
right
and
in front of
that's
that nightclub, everything's just
oh yeah,
it
Oh
was
my
like
God,
one
there's
step
so many
ahead
bodies
of
outside
chaos.
of that.
yeah. Imagine somebody's
So
gonna
there should
be
be a lot of
pissed.
XP.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll have to look at it. I forget. Oh, I gotta remember how XP works in this game now.
Yeah.
Because
there's a couple of ways to do it. I
Yeah.
think there was something where like you could give it per hour, but it's been so long.
Yeah, I'll look it up. You guys will definitely get some, but I'll say, well, I'm gonna have you wait until we sort of resolve this first arc before we
per epic
do like an
moment,
upgrade or whatever. Yeah,
Like you were saying, like it led from this to that to other. There was a lot of stuff.
I just can't remember if it's like how much you give. It's like 1, 2, 5, 10. Like I forget, but I'll look at the numbers.
Right. And some guy actually figured out. I think they said it's like a point per hour that you play, or a point per 2 hours that you play. So I don't know.
Yeah, and then you can have things.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you have like a 4-hour session, well, that's 4 points.
Yeah.
Or
right.
or
Exactly.
3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with our group, it needs to be. Well, once we figure out our dynamic, you know what I mean?
Right.
Who's what? I'm trying to represent my character, because he like almost Gort is almost deistic to him. You know what I mean? So he's not going to diverge from that. So
you're like the one guy who.
Odd?
Yeah. He sort of looks at him as like
knees too, so he knows exactly what.
Oh gosh, you've been mind-washed.
He may not like Gort, but he certainly looks at him as somebody who is
I
an
definitely
important
don't
guy.
like Gort.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, oh, this is stupid.
But I can't wait.
Why do I have to work for you?
Your character's name is Dax. Is that it?
Dax, my character's
name. Dax Cortana.
But this right here, like breaking into that place, snoozing his way in, you know what I mean? And then we can be diverting.
So what I wanted to do was I wanted this first one to be like hyper fast, like, just, pedal to the metal the whole time. And then, hopefully next session we can like slow down just a little, and be like, all right, so let's talk our way in. With the slicer, you might need to be like somewhere else, like, covert, counter slicing against another, a security guy who's trying to stop you. Exactly. And then Dell's like, why don't we just shoot our way in? Like, it'll be so much quicker. And Dax will be like, that's not the plan. Cool. Awesome. Well, that was great. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for running.
And I think we'll catch back up on it in another 2 weeks. And I like to roll obligation each session, so I will roll our obligation again and let you guys know how that goes.
Sure thing.
Very cool.
I mean, it was very fun playing a super hyped up
chaos agent.
I want to jump off that cliff.
Yeah.
Why?
I want to jump.
Character.
Yep, exactly.
Stemmed up.
I didn't even use stem.
I just assumed I assumed you had already done it. And that's
totally. I definitely
had
a stem beforehand.
Yeah.
It's like let's go.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Night, fellas.
All right.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.